Well, hi there. Thank you for coming back. Thank you very much for joining me for another episode of Kim, Barefoot in the Kitchen. I'm Kim, and this is my fake cooking show where we cook really good food for really good people in my really small kitchen. Today we are going to make. We're not baking, we're not cooking, we're making energy balls or Bliss balls, whatever you want to call them. I was out running this afternoon and the coach came on and said, how are you going to fuel up after this run? So if you're running more than 5 kilometers, especially when you get up into the 10 kilometer or running for an hour or more, it's really important that you fuel up when you get home within a half an hour. Absolutely get your fluids in, but you need to get some carbohydrates and protein in you within a half an hour. And so I thought, oh man, what am I going to eat when I get home? I thought like nothing ready. So I went with my old standby of almond milk and a banana and peanut butter in the NutriBullet, which was exactly what I had for breakfast. So, that was not a lot of fun. So I thought, let's get going, taking care of this right away. Bliss balls, or protein balls, energy balls, whatever you want to call them. These are great. They're a great snack. Number one, they're great post-run, okay? Great fuel post-run. So these are a great snack because number one, they're high in fiber, okay? Number two, they only have naturally occurring sugars in them. And we're making these today with dates instead of adding honey or maple syrup. Those are my usual go-tos, but dates have a natural sweetness. They work really well in these, and they also have fiber in them, which is important for us. And that's what we're going to make today. If you're wondering how to help some of the moms that you know, and people seem to be really struggling right now, especially the moms that have had their kids home for a long time, and who knows if the kids are going to go back to school in September, right? This is a good thing to make for them, okay? Don't just make these for yourself and be happy and satisfied. For kids, these are great because they've got just the naturally occurring sugars. You're not adding anything else in, unless you're adding chocolate chips. But that, you don't have to, right? That's one of the add-ins that you can or cannot, whatever you want, add. And they've got protein. So it's something good. You feel good about giving these to the moms, to the families that you know. They're perfect for little hands because they're the nice little ball size. And they store really well in the fridge, and they freeze super well. And these ones, you can make them with peanut butter, but if peanut allergy is a problem, you can make them with cashew butter. Works really, really well in these, or almond butter. If there is an allergy to all tree nuts, you could make them with sunflower seed butter. Yeah, that one works really good too. So there's lots of workarounds. And today we're going to make the base, and then from the base we're going to do our add-ins. So once you make the base, the possibilities are almost endless. You can add whatever you want to these as to your liking, as to your friend's liking. If you have a friend who's a runner, make some of these for that friend. For shut-ins, they're just wonderful. And this recipe does not require you to put them into the fridge and chill for half hour and then make the balls, okay? This is put it together, get them in the ball shape, and then put them into your containers and you're good to go. Also, these are super good to have in the freezer if you're one of those people who gets the pop-ins. You get Pop-In Company, or you often get family come to visit, whatever. Have these in the freezer. You can put them in the freezer for up to 3 months, and they're easy to pull out, put them on the counter. 20 minutes later, they're all unfrozen and ready to go. Okay? Now, For these, we are going to use date paste. You can buy date paste, or you can make it yourself for real cheap. And you know that I'm going to teach you how to make it, okay? So you take your dates, 2 cups of dates or more, because you can use this to flavor other things as well. And you don't have to use expensive dates, just the run-of-the-mill, cheapest dates that you can find. Or if you've had your dates sitting in the fridge for a long time and they're all hard, you can use those too. What you do is you cover them with hot water for 30 minutes, and then they soften beautifully. And then we're going to put the water and the dates, everything all together, into the food processor and give it a spin. Instantly paste. Okay? So let's see if I can do this without making a mess. Looks good. Awesome. Okay, and then the dates go in. I personally love dates. If you've spent any time with me, you know that if there's a gluten-free date bar in the vicinity, I'm all over that. And I will snap it up. I love dates. I love date squares. Most date squares, unfortunately, are not gluten-free because they add flour. But sometimes you get a really good gluten-free bakery, and that makes me super happy. And process. Okay, obviously still getting used to my food processor. Wow. Very important to have this little gate stopper in. Anyway, we are ready to go with our date paste. That was an adventure. And we're going to need 1 cup of the date paste. Actually, what I didn't do yet is tell you guys what really you need for these. Now, to make these protein balls, Bliss balls, whatever you want to call them, you need 3 cups of oats, and that's quick oats. You can use rolled oats, but the balls will be really chewy. So the quick oats give a nicer texture. If you really want a little bit of chewiness in them, you can do 2 cups of quick oats and 1 cup of rolled oats, and that would work too. Today I'm using 3 cups of quick oats, a 1/2 cup of nut butter, any kind of nut butter that you want. It's up to you. You've got freedom to choose. A 1/2 cup of flax seed, and it's got to be ground. Your body cannot grab the nutrition out of the flaxseed unless it's ground. So make sure that you, if you bought flax seeds, just grind them in your NutriBullet, in your blender, however you want to grind them, that's good. My food processor does not grind flaxseed well, I found out. 1 cup of date paste, which we just made. 1/3 cup of coconut oil. Oil's not so bad for you. We need oil for our skin, for our hair, for everything. And then we're going to do our add-ins. Chocolate chips. I'm going to do a white chocolate chip cranberry one. You can add walnuts. You can do walnut and raisins and a titch of, oh, there's that word again, titch. A titch of cinnamon. And that will give you a protein ball that tastes a lot like a, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Oatmeal cookie. There we go. It'll taste like an oatmeal cookie. And coconut. Coconut and walnuts is good together. Coconut and pecans. I've got pecans. And I've toasted my pecans. I've got some unsweetened coconut, and I've toasted that as well. I've got my white chocolate chips. I've got chia seeds and raisins, and that's it. That's my add-ins for today. So let's get going. And I hope that when you guys watch these tutorials, that at the end, if you don't mind, give me a thumbs up, please. It's always nice to get that kind of feedback. Subscribe so that you never miss one of my tutorials. There may be one that's really going to be right up your alley. Also, send me a message. If there's something that you really want me to do, to cook on my Fake Cooking Show, just let me know. If it's meat-based, I probably won't cook it. Just because, you know, you have to taste as you go along when you're cooking, and I can't taste meat. I mean, I physically could, but I won't. There we go. So, as long as it's not meat-based, it's a free-for-all. I will do whatever you want. It was quite the adventure. Making the day paste. My word. Okay, let's get rid of this utensil that's let me down today. And we can add that these are gluten-free and they are vegan. So you can make these for your friends that have celiac disease. If you are making them for somebody who has celiac, they're true celiac, then make sure that the oats are certified gluten-free oats, and you're good to go. Everything else is celiac friendly here. Vegan, yeah, we're all good. Now let's get going. Now you can mix these in your food processor. I am done with my food processor for today. I'm going to do these by hand. If you're making them for friends, this is the age of COVID, so you could put on your plastic gloves, right? Mix it up with your hands and you're good to go. So let's do the base and then we'll do our add-ins. So our base is 3 cups of oats. Okay, 3 cups of oats. The proper way to do this, I don't always show you guys the proper way, but I should really be trying, is spoon and level. And while I've got your attention, how you doing? You doing okay? Don't tell me fine. Don't say I'm fine. Fine doesn't really mean anything. It's usually what people say when they're not doing well. But if you're not having the greatest day, what can you do to turn this day around? Maybe you can go for a run or a walk, get outside. If not, do you have a book that you're reading that you could pull out and just have a little bit of me time with a nice cup of something soothing? And if you're having a great day, don't keep it to yourself. Go share it with somebody. Like make a batch of these protein balls and we should really level that and share it with somebody. Or think about your friend circle and how people are doing right now, and make a mental note to send somebody a text message today that says, hey, I was thinking about you, or, you know, your endurance really encourages me, that kind of thing. You can never send enough of those kinds of text messages or emails, that kind of thing. Okay, now 1/2 cup of nut butter goes in. Whatever kind of nut butter that you want to use, that's fine. Peanut butter is great. Cashew butter, almond butter. And you know, you can make all of these butters yourself with a high-speed blender. Or if you've got a good food processor. Mine is, the brand is Princess, and it is anything but a princess. We're going to add 1/2 cup of flaxseed that we have ground. Why flaxseed? Because it's so good for you, number one, and because it binds things together. And it's a good source of fiber, especially for celiacs. This is really important. For people with celiac disease, it's hard for them to get enough fiber because there's so many. People get a lot of fiber from bread and baked goods like that, and unless they're making them themselves, they don't get it. Anyway, I have a cup. There we go. Looking good. 1 cup of date paste. Date paste is the labor of love. You can use this to sweeten muffins too, you know. It's not just for protein bars. You just know this is going to be good, don't you? Yum, yum. Okay. 1/3 cup of coconut oil. I'm hoping there's 1/3 cup in here so that I don't have to open my other bottle right now. I eyeballed it, and yes. Nice. Now, the other thing that you can do with this is instead of putting them into balls, you can put it into, this would make a 9x13 pan of energy squares. So just throwing that out there. Coming together very nicely. And it is 100% humidity here. It's been raining. Oh my goodness. I needed to go to the store today, and so I got ready, got on my bike. The sky was looking gray, which usually means it's going to rain, but not always. And I'm feeling kind of lucky, so I'm like, okay. And then the wind started to blow. Not like crazy, but I know when the wind blows, it means it's going to rain. I'm like, no, maybe I can get to the store before. I got 5 minutes down the road, and I was soaked to the skin, and there was water pouring into my shoes because I get everywhere. I go everywhere by motorcycle, hey? So I went home. I just abandoned ship. I went back home. And I never did go to the store. But about an hour later, it cleared up enough that I could go for a run, which made me super happy. And when I was going for the run, I usually run by, I use the Nike running app, Nike Running Club app. I love it. If any of you guys are runners, really, it's such a great app anyway, and it's free. And the guided runs are super good. Anyway, so I usually run by kilometers, but there was a guided run and it was 90 minutes, an hour and a half. And I thought, yeah, that would be, I can knock that out, I think before it starts to rain again. And right away, I went, I wonder how many kilometers that is. because I measure my running always by kilometers. Like, you know, anything less than 5 kilometers and I feel that I failed. So I started to do the calculation and I went, whoa, slow down. You don't always have to measure yourself the same way. Just go for a 90-minute run and then see how many kilometers you did. I was like, yeah, okay. Sometimes that makes sense. Okay, so this is there. That's how your base should look like. And mine is looking pretty oatmeal-y. And I'm debating on whether I'm going to just zip it through the food processor and break that oatmeal down a little bit more. I'm going to zip this through the food processor and break it down a little bit more. Now, if you're making your protein balls all the same flavor, then you can skip this next step, which is let's portion our batter out. Okay, now the first one, I want to do pecan and cranberries. And there's no exact measurements for doing the add-ins because it's kind of like whatever you want. If you love pecans, then throw in lots of pecans. I've probably used a 1/4 cup of pecans and a 1/4 cup of cranberries in this one. Give it a good mix. Okay, and we're ready to roll. Okay, there we go. Yummy. And I think that this would be really good dipped in toasted coconut. Yummers. Not only is that going to taste wonderful, it's beautiful to look at. And this recipe makes lots of protein balls. There's definitely enough to have some for yourself, for your family, and then to have some to share with a neighbor or a friend, with your favorite runner. So just carrying on that idea of how we measure ourselves, when I got over it and I said, okay, we're just gonna run, and the measure will be you finish in an hour and a half, and however far you get is how far you get, and you will be happy with that. That was my little pep talk. And as I was running, I thought, really, the idea of measuring ourselves or comparing ourselves, we have to be really careful with that. I hope that you guys are not measuring yourselves by somebody else's standards, or by what other people can do that are your age or that have sort of your circumstances, because that is a road to disaster. There's, I was watching the graduation, in the last talk, there was 2 words that really hit me, and that was earnest effort. We need to put forth earnest effort. And if we're putting forth earnest effort, we should be happy with what we're doing and not in comparison to what others are doing. Everybody has different circumstances. For example, like, for running. There's lots of runners that can run, further than me. I haven't done a marathon yet. I'd like to. It's in the future. But I can't compare myself to them. I can't compare myself to other runners because every runner's body is built differently, right? So I'm happy with what I can do. And I'm hoping that you guys are happy every day with what you can do. Because what's important is what you can do and not what other people can do. So I was running and I was thinking about you guys, my audience for this fake cooking show. And I hope that you guys enjoy my kitchen wisdom that I like to impart. And that's my kitchen wisdom for today. Really don't ever go down that road of comparing yourself to other people. Put forth your own earnest effort. And those 2 words, they hit me just like, it was like boom, like a big thud on my chest. And I know areas in my life where I could be putting forth more earnest effort, language-wise, with my languages that I'm learning right now. So it was good for me to hear that reminder that we all need to put forth earnest effort. And earnest effort has rewards. Okay, enough of that. Let's go on to another flavor. So for this one, I'm going to add some chia seeds, because chia seeds are amazing. They're a superfood. They've got aminos in there. They've got lots of good stuff. So I put in probably a tablespoon. And with the chia seeds, I think that dried blueberries would be good. And do I want coconut in there too? We can roll it in coconut, that's what we can do. It's been quite a day today. With the afternoon rain, oh my goodness, it rains so hard. And my laundry room flooded. And I knew what I needed to do to fix the source of the flood, and I really didn't want to do it because it would mean getting my hands kind of icky. But I did it anyway, and I was kind of proud of myself that I fixed it, and I got my hands icky, and I didn't die, and it was okay. So this one I've rolled in pecans, because I have lots of pecans that I toasted. And when I watch this later, I will know if I already talked about this, but I toasted the pecans before I did anything with the Bliss balls with them. Because when you toast the nuts that you're using, it brings the oils to the surface and it makes them taste better. And also, especially for these, it makes the nuts a little bit crunchy, and they will keep that crunch because you don't want soft nuts in something that's already soft. So for the remaining, I'm going to do raisin, walnut, cinnamon, and I put in a 1/4 cup of raisins and just 1/8 of a cup of walnuts and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And I highly recommend that you make some of these with chocolate chips in them. Just chocolate chips and then the base. It tastes really good too. I'm not doing those because I've been rather liberal with the eating of sweets lately, and I've got to cut back. How are you guys doing? I hope that you will write me, leave a comment, and let me know what flavors that you decided to use. Oftentimes my viewers have got some great ideas that I incorporate into my own recipes later. And coconut oatmeal raisin cookies also taste good. So I'm going to toss this one in the coconut. Really press it in there. So after these are all done, you're going to pop them into the fridge. After 30 minutes, they should be nice and firmed up. They're better the second day, as almost everything is. And you can put them in the freezer and store them for up to 3 months. I doubt they would last that long because these are pretty tasty. And I am coming to the end of my batch here. Well, I hope that you had fun making these. I had fun doing this tutorial. And now I've got protein balls so that when I come in for my run, I can grab one of these and have an electrolyte drink and get ready to go again. Here we go. All done. I hope that you enjoy these energy balls. I hope that they bring some joy to your life, and I really hope that you enjoyed the tutorial today on making them. I had fun with you guys. I love having somebody to cook with, so thank you again for tuning into my show. I hope you're having a great day. And if you're not, go do something to make it a great day. And if you're already having a great day, spread that love and cheer with everybody else. I love you guys. I'll see you again soon.